Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2 of going over in small segments over the commercial driver legal plan. The first one, as you notice, we went over dress and attire for when you get in there. Okay, the second one is now once we're in there, what do we say? What do we do? I've always learned to bring everybody some candy. If you go in, make sure to bring some candy bars or whatnot. Okay? Make sure that each person has a folder. Now, you can get folders in Amazon, Staples, Office Max, wherever. But you want to be able to, each one of the drivers that you're talking to, you want to have a will inside that folder. Now, those are basic things that you guys already need. Now, going in, there's a couple things you got to know about with the companies, okay? First off, when we're doing with companies, they're either going to be on a payroll deduct, okay? I bet you can't see that. Or they're going to be on a bank draft. Okay, we're getting out of the habit of calling it a bank draft, and we're going to basically substitute bank draft, this wording bank draft, cross through it, and we are now going to say self-funded. Okay? Now, you're going to run into what I refer to as a catch-22 in the CDL market. Whenever you go into the market, you're going to sell two plans at all times. You're going to sell a legal plan, and you're going to sell a CDL plan. The reason why is because, first off, the driver needs it. The second reason why is because a CDLP plan does not cover anything outside the truck. So, in other words, you need them both together so the driver is completely covered. Now, most companies will offer a payroll deduct. And when we're going into companies, we want them to offer a payroll deduct because drivers love payroll deduct. Here's the problem. And you can write this down. Okay? I want you guys to write this down. Companies, okay, equal a high turnover rate. That's just the trucking company. Okay? Which means if you're on a payroll deduct, with payroll deduct, high turnover rate, payroll deduct, which means anytime that they turn over, that means you're going to have to call those up. You're going to have to figure out if they're leaving the company or not, because you're going to have to take a little extra time and call these drivers up to find out if they want to go to self-pay, okay, to self-funded. So, in other words, because the companies in general have a high turnover rate and you have everybody on payroll deduct, if they leave the company, that means that's going to go off. So, payroll deduct will get you more drivers at all times because drivers like to be putting it on payroll deduct. But remember this. If they are self-funded, okay, that means it doesn't matter what company they go to, they are now taking it with them without losing any kind of coverage. So it's a catch-22. Do we want companies to do bank draft or self-funded, or do we want payroll deduct plus the self-funded? This is one of those questions that we will cover later on. But remember this, if you go into a company, payroll deduct is what we want for right now. It's easier to call up the driver and have them switched over, or at least let them get their plans used first so they know that it works. So payroll deduct is always going to be our first priority. It's going to be our main priority. Self-funding is for those companies that will not allow payroll deduct, but we know the drivers need it, okay? So the nice thing about it is, no matter what company, whether it's a payroll or whether it's self-funded, okay, we waive the $10 legal enrollment fee, and we waive the $25 CDL enrollment fee, okay? So basically, we waive both of those no matter which one they get. So that way they do not have that extra expense. That's $35 extra that they're putting up, okay? If they get both of these, okay? So take, for instance, they get both the legal and they get the CDLP. All right, let me erase some of this here if I can. Some of my markers are really good. Suck. All right. The reason why I want you to know now is let's go over the price real quick. Actually, let's go ahead and stop, and we'll do that on the next video because we'll keep these we'll try to keep them under 10 minutes each. That way, the next one we're going to go into is the price of our plants.